Okay, so update number 2 here is things are getting hotter in Portland, Oregon, which is like an Antifa stronghold. I don't know how any of these people live in this city and willingly and deal with these Antifa scumbags. It's crazy to me because they take over the city on 3 times a week and march and trash things and bang their stupid drums and do everything. I mean, unless all these people are complicit with it or just they could care less one way or the other, it boggles the mind. But here's some video coming out of Portland here. All of their stupid chant. Why are you in riot gear? Because they're doing their fucking job. So 200 members of the Oregon National Guard have been put into service in Portland for 60 days to assist ICE and to deal with all of these stupid people. They tried to file a lawsuit to block the Trump administration from deploying the National Guard to Portland or anywhere in the state. People have squeakies. I don't know what they're doing. They have like squeaky toys. I don't have the full context on this, but this black guy was walking through with an American flag, and kudos to him. Kind of engaging with some of the protesters here, and he had a Make America Great Again hat on. I don't know if it got worse from that point. The video is only 22 seconds long. But kudos for him for going out there and getting in these dummies' faces. Another crowd gathers at a Portland ICE facility. This is another video of the one. It's frozen. That's cool. And you will be held accountable for the crimes that you commit today, tomorrow, and the next day until this is over. All right, the ICE guys or troops are trying to shove them back from the perimeter, get them out of the way. So the very, very peaceful Antifa. They're the anti-fascists that are fighting fascists, even though they are the fascists. So they like to hide behind a name that makes them appear to people that don't pay attention and just take them at face value as the good guys. I don't know if the government made this video or somebody did this video on their own, but it's troops dealing with these scumbags. There was one where they're hauling a guy. They picked up by his arms and legs, or hauling him out. That's it. There it is. A guy or a girl? I can't really tell. So, this is what should have happened in Trump's first term, and he didn't want to. He didn't want to be the dictator that they were all, the left accuses him of. So he let the local authorities deal with all this. But the local authorities were the ones saying it was going to be the summer of love, right? And then they set up the Chaz Chop Zone and took over like 3 blocks of Portland and barricaded it off with stone barricades and had criminals and gang members patrolling the streets as their security, threatening people. A couple people were shot, and they kept the police and emergency services out so you couldn't save people's lives when they were hurt. That was the summer of love that happened in Portland when you leave it up to Portland Democrats to deal with the whole situation. But aside from what's going on with these scumbags in Antifa, there's one thing I wanted to show here, and it's Ice Cube's tour van ended up being essentially firebombed because it said ICE on it. And they decided maybe not to read the wording on the bus properly. But here's a little bit of Tim Pool talking about that.
KGW.com. Rapper Ice Cube's tour bus catches fire in downtown Portland. Investigation underway. Now you may be saying, Tim, that's sad to hear for Ice Cube. The rumor is the fire was started by people who thought they were firebombing ICE.
Which, that is hilarious. It's terrible for the owner of the... It's awful for the owner of the bus, because I assume that Ice Cube doesn't own the bus. He's probably renting it.
Apparently...
Didn't he say something left field about... He had a comment, I think, recently about... I don't know if it was about ICE, but... That's
so most people
again. This is apparent. I don't know if this is actual footage. This is what everyone's sharing.
Yeah, fire.
Ice
Cube on the side of the bus,
and apparently it said Ice Cube or something.
Because they call him Ice.
Yeah. Now I don't know if that's true. However, guys,
be pretty on brand for them.
Downtown Portland, which has this kind of stuff all the time, and the Portland ICE protests are ongoing. So when someone says ICE, who set fire to his bus and why? Why did it just happen? Because somebody did it for a reason. Now we can speculate. Maybe it was some guy who was like, I am so jealous of this famous rapper, I will burn it. I don't know. We don't really hear stories like that. So when the rumor is anti-ICE protesters set fire to Ice Cube's van or tour bus, we're kind of like, you know, that's kind of believable.
It's believable.
Yeah, and I, so this is a play to how stupid these people really are. I told you about the shooter at the ICE facility in Texas. Okay, so this 29-year-old kid set up on the roof with a sniper rifle, and his intention was to harm the ICE agents. Instead, the moron ended up killing one illegal immigrant and critically wounding two others. These are the moronic heroes of the left. And now you go to Portland, Oregon, and they're setting Ice Cube's bus on fire because it said ICE on it. I mean, I truly, some of the dumbest people on the planet. I mean, they don't. It goes to show that they don't have any values that they're fighting for. It's just the next flavor of the day or the week or the month, right? If you had any strong feelings or conviction about what you're doing, your targets or your actions would be very, very focused and thought out when you were doing something. Instead, it's just broad, dumb chaos, right? Oh, that bus says ICE on it, even though it says the Ice Cube tour, and it has said like "fuck the authority" on right after the main part of the wording, right? So they completely ignore that or just tune it out and burn it because it says ICE on it, and we don't like ICE, so we're going to burn ICE. ICE is very bad, even though they're enforcing this country's laws. It's and then the sniper wants to help out illegals, and what does he end up doing? He ends up shooting illegals because he's a moron and he can't aim properly. And this is what the left is. They're uninformed, uneducated people who simultaneously believe that they are smarter than you and I. They believe that they have the knowledge and the right actions that you and I don't have. And they're if it wasn't for the violence and how bad that they get, it would be absolutely comical. You would think of it as a comedy movie rather than anything serious. But the fact that they're stupid, uninformed people that are so violent, that's the cocktail of a really bad mix right there. And I hope that Trump keeps moving forward. He's talking about increasing ICE and troops in Portland. He's also planning on doing it in Chicago. These things need to happen because the Democrats that are in charge are not going to take any definitive action. They are not going to keep the people safe, and they're not going to keep the streets safe. So what do you do in that situation? And the people, I don't know if they just don't know how to fight back as far as their government screwing them over, or they don't want to, or they're just like, oh, well, what can you do? And they shrug their shoulders and they let Antifa thugs rule their entire area. But something needs to be done to protect the citizens. This is the government's job. It's the police's job. And up to this point, it hasn't really been happening. So it needs to happen now. So we'll see what breaks down with Portland. They've been designated a terrorist group They all need to be arrested. The same old tactics of just pushing them back and telling them to leave is not suitable enough at all. You've designated them as domestic terrorists, and it's time to start treating them as such. All right, more updates coming soon. Thanks, everyone. Like, share, support, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all soon. Oh, for fuck's sake.